I posted a quiz on Google Classroom. So this is just like, and I'll go over that then, but this is just like a review for that. So, like I said, we'll do the quiz review, and basically, it's just going to be what we've been doing. So, like the AR, the ER, and the IR verbs, their endings, things like that. The tenaire plus K plus infinitive, and the two verb constructions. So, and I'll show you the quiz and everything when I'm done with this, but I have practice and things. It's pretty easy. I mean, I think it's easy, so, but I made it too. So, if you need any help, just let me know. I think I have it. Let me see. I think I have it set for being due tomorrow, but that was for Friday, so I can change the due date until like Wednesday or something, depending on what you think. So, and just remember, like, you can use these PowerPoints and things like that. Like when you're doing the quiz, if you need help and stuff. That's one nice thing about being online for classes and things like that. So, just like, oh, okay. Hi, Fabian. How are you? I'm just gonna write down that he's here.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Glad to hear you're doing good. But oh, and one thing I did want to tell you guys on here is that this is the last week of summer classes. So Friday will be our last day until August 30th, which I think is the first day of the new school year. So I know like a couple people in my first period class didn't know that, but this is the last week. So after today, we have 4 days left, and then you get a break for like a month. So just, I know it's like hard. I know that you guys are like, okay, it's summer. I don't want to be here. And that's okay because that's normal. But just let's do this and then we'll get through it. So, the regular AR verb endings, which we've been going over, you see we have the personal pronouns here, like we always do. So,
I'm about to connect on my laptop.
that's fine. Oh, I see that. There's two of you now. Okay. Now there's only one. We're good.
Okay.
Okay. So in the yo form, we add an O to the stem. In the T form, we add a S to the stem. In the el, ella, usted form, we add an A to the stem. In the nosotros and the nosotras form, we add an amos to the stem. In the ellos, ellas, and ustedes form, we add an AN to the stem. So, and I have practice on this since we haven't done this for a couple days. So the ER regular verb endings are in the yo form, we add an O. And the yo form is the same for AR, ER, and IR verbs. In the to form, we add an ES. In the el, ella, usted form, we add an E. In the nosotros and the nosotras form, we add an emos, EMOS. In the ellos, ellas, and ustedes form, we add an EN. And then the IR verbs are almost the exact, what have I done? The IR verbs are almost the exact same as the ER verbs in that they're only different in their nosotros form, which we went over. The O form, you add an O, just like you do for all the other ones. In the to form, you add an ES. In the el, ella, usted form, you add an E. In the nosotros and nosotras form, you add IMOS, which that's the weird one. For in the ellos, ellas, and ustedes form, you add an EN. So this is all stuff that we went over, but this is just practice. And then I have like all of these. We're probably not going to do them all because I know that you guys will be sick of this way before we do them all. But let me see. I did this like on Thursday, so I wanted to. Okay. So actually, you know what? Before we do this, let me show you what the quiz is all about. So it's under quizzes, right? And it's a Google Doc, so you should be able to edit it. I gave everyone their own copy. So for the first section, you're just gonna say like which personal pronoun goes with each one. So an example is Maria. That's what I would give you. And then you would say ella, because that's she. So like for the first one it says I, and you're talking about yourself, so it would be yo, right? There's only 5 of those. Those are pretty easy. For the second type, it's just asking which type of verb it is. Is it AR, ER, or IR? So that's pretty self-explanatory. For the section C, I gave you verbs, and then you're going to take the ending off and tell me what's left. So I want the stem. So with bailar, you take the AR off, and you're left with BAIL, right? And then that's what you'd add the ending onto. So that's easy. Dormir is a stem changer. I know that, but just give me like what it would be when you take the IR off. So that stuff's pretty easy. And for D, you would just conjugate the verb based on the subject that I give you. And that means using the stem and adding the new ending on. And then you tell me what each one means. So for this one, I gave you yo bailar. So it'd be yo bailo, and that means I dance. So that's all I'm really looking for. And each one of these is worth a point. So there's that. The 2 verb construction, which I think we're gonna go over this a little bit today, is yo quiero dormir is I want to sleep. Remember, I want is yo quiero, which I don't think we went over that, but now you know that. And dormir is to sleep. So, and some of them are in English, some of them are in Spanish. So, easy enough. And then we have tener plus K plus infinitive, which I do have an exercise on that today. And you're going to translate each of these sentences using tener plus K plus infinitive. So an example is I need to cook. So it would be yo tengo or tengo que cocinar. So great. And then this is just like a bonus. You don't have to do it. But what do we call verbs that are irregular in the present tense? We didn't go over these in detail yet, but I did mention their name a couple times. And if you get it right, you'll just get like a bonus point. If you don't, that's fine, but you don't even have to try it if you don't want to. But and I am going to change the due date on this. So do you have any questions on this? It's pretty simple. Are you okay with this? Let me actually, give me 1 second. I have to move that. And this is in my, everything is like in my way. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to edit this. And I'm going to change the due date to Wednesday. So yeah, I assigned it on Friday, but nobody was here, so we couldn't really go through it. So I changed that. Let me make sure. Okay, it still says due tomorrow, but I thought I fixed it. Oh, I think I forgot to push save. Well, that would help. What? Let's try it. Okay, now it says that. So you have a couple days to work on this, and I'm not going to assign like any homework today or anything, so you have time to work on this and review it, things like that. So if you guys, oh, what am I doing? So if you guys are okay with this, we can do some review. Like I said, it's not real hard, and if you have any questions, you can send me an email. We'll do that. Okay. Yep. So we'll go back here, and this. Okay, so this first activity that I have here is like the tener plus K plus infinitive. Okay, so we're gonna, and then remember, I really should have put the conjugations of tener in here, but let me bring them up because I don't know if you guys remember that. I'll bring them up so we can do this. If it'll load. Okay. So here. So it's saying yo blank la revista. So it wants you to say I have to read the newspaper. So what would you say if you're using tener plus K plus infinitive? You would say yo, and then you need a form of tener. So which one would you pick? It would be tango, right? So yo tango, okay, player, right? And for las chicas, blank contigo. So it's saying the girls have to play with you. So they, the girls. So it's ellas, right? So tienen. And then this one is to blank las invitaciones. So it's saying you have to make the invitations. So we need the to form of tener, right? So it would be tienes. And then mi prima blank la casa. So and it wants to see use decorar. So my cousin has to decorate the house. So my cousin, and that's her, she, right? So that's what we need. The she form of tener. So that's ella, right? So ella tiene. So tiene que. And this one is nosotras blank dos casas. So it wants us to use vender. So we have to sell, I think it's supposed to be dos casas. I didn't make this, so I don't know. But we have to sell 2 houses. So nosotras. Well, we know we use tenemos, right? Tenemos que vender. Well, let's see if we're right. We should be. Yep, we're right. So, do you guys have any questions or anything on this, like what I did here? Does it make sense? You use the right form of tener plus K plus the infinitive.
Yes.
Okay. And just remember, like this stuff is all on Google Classroom, so if you need it, it's there. Let's see what this one is. I haven't looked at these in like a couple days. Okay. So this one is what are the 3 possible endings for Spanish verbs? So we know it's AR, right? We know it's ER and IR. Definitely not OR and definitely not UR. We never went over those. And then for the verb bailar, which means to dance, what would be the stem? And then in Spanish it's called the raíz. No, it's definitely not the first one, because remember we only take the AR off, so the L would have to be there. The third one, there's an A at the end, and remember we take that off. It would be the second one. And then for the conjugations of amar, and that's a regular AR verb. So for the yo form, what do we always add at the end for AR verbs?
Oh, right.
Yep. So yo. Yep. What do we add in the to form in AR verbs?
I think two was like AR or something like that.
AS.
AS.
What do you add in the el, ella, and usted form?
You have to remind me for that one.
Let's go back. You add an A, right?
Yeah, A.
Yep, it's amo. And then in the nosotros form, do you remember that one?
This almost right.
Yep.
A. Yeah, and then the next one is A-N.
Yep. And then this is for ER verbs. So it gives us vender, and this is regular. So what do we add in the yo form for ER verbs?
Oh, right.
Yep. What about this?
So wait, it will be the same thing, A-S?
It's ES. Remember?
E-S. Oh, yeah, if it's an E, you change everything to E instead of an A.
Yep. And
I
then
get it now. So L is, I guess, ES as well, right?
this E, right? Remember? And
Oh, yeah, L and Ustad is E. Okay.
does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
And then for the Aya form, you want to say she sells.
So she sells is yeah, go back for 1 sec. It's
How do
still
you
E.
conjugate
Oh, gosh,
Spanish
what did I
regular
do?
verbs in the present tense?
Okay, no, don't do that.
Hola.
Okay, sorry.
That scared me for a sec.
I know it scared me too. I was like, is that me or is that you? I don't know, but it's fine. But it's Aya.
It's E.
And for the nosotros form,
It's Amos, right?
and for the ustedes form,
For the ustedes form. Let me see.
you want me to go back?
Is it it's E-N.
EN.
I was gonna say E-S, but E-S is still.
Yep. And then for the ellos,
It's E-N as well.
yep. And then this is an IR verb. So what do we add in the yo form?
There's an O still, right?
Yep. What do we add in the to form?
Instead of an E, we turn it to an I, right?
Actually, remember the IR verbs are the exact same as the ER, except in
Except almost.
the
Okay, so two would be E-S.
yep.
L would be S, right? Or just E?
Just E. Yep.
And then in Mosos, how you pronounce that with the I?
Abrimos. Emos.
Emos. There you go.
Yep. And then
Ayo is, if I'm not mistaken, E-N, right?
yep. Okay, yeah, we got 100%, so we did better than most people. I actually took that quiz before I gave it to you guys because it was so short. But yep, so that was just a little bit of practice.
Do I have any projects I have to turn in?
No, I've just been like, it's hard to do like projects in Spanish. So I'm just kind of doing like this kind of stuff. So I mean, other than what we've been doing, there might be like an assignment more or something like that, but I don't have like any like crazy projects or anything.
Okay.
So, because I know that you guys have projects in all of your other classes. For this one, it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't, give me a spot to put them in, but that's okay. So for the first one, and these are all ER verbs. Oh wait, I don't think that. Okay, yeah, they are all regular. Never mind. So, for the first one, it says La profesora blank en voz alta, and it wants us to use leer. So it's saying the professor reads in a clear, like higher voice. So, how would we conjugate leer for la profesora? What do you think?
Instead of ER, it would be ES.
It would
Or
just
E.
be, right? Because she, right? So it would
Yeah.
be la profesora lee en voz alta. So it would just be Lee.
Okay.
And then two is vosotros, so we're not going to do that. For yo, it says yo blank muchos libros en español. So it's saying,
Yo leo.
yep. And then for two blank que Andres es muy inteligente. So you believe that Andres is very intelligent.
Tú crees.
Crees, yep. And then nosotros aprender alemán en la universidad. So it's saying we learn
Aprendamos. Right?
aprendemos.
Aprendemos.
Yep, so it ends in EMOS. And then Julio blank mucho a mediodía. So comer for Julio. What do you think?
Julio Gomez
Comer.
is ES, right?
Just
Or
in
just
he,
okay.
because it's he, right? Julio is he. Who, if you add an ES, that's like you.
Yeah, that's two.
Okay. And then Roberto y Paco, and then the verb is traer la comida en la escuela. So Roberto y Paco, what do you think?
That's two people, right?
Yep.
So I think that's ES.
It's EN, right?
EN. There you go.
Because it's they, right? Roberto.
Yeah, EN. ES is two. I keep confusing the two.
That's okay. So it's Roberto y Paco traen la comida a la escuela. So that's a little awkward of a verb, but so tú, and then you need vender. Libros en la tienda de la esquina. So
Tú vendes.
yep. En qué restaurante blank ustedes todos los días? So our verb is our subject is ustedes. So what do you think?
EN.
Yep. Comen. Yep. And then we have yo no comprender bien al profesor. So yo.
Yo no comprendemos. Oh, there's an O at the end, right? How you say it? Comprende.
Comprendo. Yep. So it's comprendo. Remember, we take the ER off and we add an O for yo. And then for él, vender coches. So he sells cars. What would it be for vender?
And it will be just E, right?
Yep. So vende. And then 12 is vosotros, so we're not going to do that. 13 is ella comprender toda la lección. So ella for comprender.
Comprenden. EN, right?
It's just an E, right? Because it's ella.
Oh, just the E, yeah. I thought it's EAS. My fault.
Nope, that's okay. And then ustedes aprender mucho en la clase. So ustedes
Aprenden.
Yep.
EN.
Yep. And then leer usted muchos libros en español. So usted with leer.
So leen usted muchos libros is like EN.
It would be lee, because remember it's usted, not ustedes.
Oh, see, the ES got me. I wasn't even paying attention, so it'd just be a flat A.
Yep. Yep. And then él creer que habla español muy bien. Él and then creer. What do you think?
I think that's just stay flat E, right?
So it's creer. Yep. And then ¿quién esconder los juguetes de Manuela? So ¿quién? Now this is a little bit difficult.
That's who.
Yeah. So what do you
So who? How you say that word again?
Esconder.
Okay.
What do you think? Now this one is a little bit difficult because it doesn't give you a straightforward subject.
It just has to make sense. So I would have to put like who hid. Like I'm trying to see how I'm gonna put it. ¿Quién escondió? I think it's an O.
It's actually gonna be an E.
An E?
Yeah, when they give you like it would be ¿Quién esconde los juguetes de Manuela? So they will, for some reason, and I don't know why they do it, but they do. When you have like ¿Quién, and you always add an E.
Okay.
It's always in the LA usted form. We didn't really go over that, but that's just one of those things. So, for the next one we have ella no ve la televisión por la noche. So ella.
Ella no ve is VEE, right?
Yeah, it's like ve. Yeah. So it's kind of awkward to pronounce, but that's okay.
The next one is O.
Ajá, yo leo todas las noches antes de dormir. So, en Luis siempre beber la cerveza muy fría. So, beber with Luis.
That's like That's like N. So that's like a E, right?
Yep. So, Luis siempre bebe. Yep. And then, yeah. So, we were right. And then, let me see. I don't remember which one of these was a good one. Okay, we'll just do this one because it's short. So for the first one, it doesn't really give you a subject. And that's because, remember I said in Spanish, you can use the verb, and you don't have to put the subject in because the verb is different in every form. So they're going to know what you're saying no matter what. That's okay. So I think these are all in the present. Yeah, they are. So blank contigo en ese tema. So it's saying, I agree with you on that subject. So we know that I is going to be the subject in this. So which one of these
The
entities?
first one that
Yep.
has the O.
Yeah. Coincido contigo en ese tema. So yeah, that's right. That isn't how I would say that, but coincidir is, I mean, it's relevant, but I would say like estoy de acuerdo contigo, but I mean that's fine too. Um, and then la puerta se blank fácilmente, so the door opens easily. So the door is
Abres.
gonna be abre, right? Because the door.
Yeah.
Um, and then this is like this say right here is something called the reflexive verb, which we didn't go over yet, so that's okay. So just ignore that. But then we have ustedes live in the city. So you guys live in the city. Which one goes with ustedes?
Vives, right?
It's viven, right?
Viven. There you
They.
go.
Okay. And then nosotros blank al profesor. So we interrupt the
The
teacher.
third one.
Interrumpimos. Yeah, that's a verb and a half. Let me tell you that. It really is. That one still like trips me up every time I say it. So, los refugiados blank con las ayudas de la ONGs. So refugees survive with aid from NGOs. I don't even know what that is, but that's okay. So, refugees is our subject. So they, right?
So they survive. SOBREVIVE. That
No,
was it or no?
nope. One more. You have to add one more letter to it.
N. There you go.
Yep, because remember they. So it'd be
They survived.
mhm. Yep. And then we should be all right. Yep, we're good. So some of those sentences and those verbs were a little bit complicated, but that's all right. So, and that was a short one, and then we have a little bit of time.
I just can't wait till we go back to school.
I know. I'm ready to go back in person too because all of my classes are supposed to be in person too. I'm ready.
And I'm not gonna lie, I think you're supposed to have more people in class than what you do
I
now.
I think so too. I'm hoping. I don't know. I guess this page isn't working. If it doesn't work, it's fine. But
Yo,
Okay, this isn't working, so that's okay. But we did a lot of practice. So, Fabian, how do you feel about this stuff? How do you feel about the quiz? How do you feel about like what we did? Do you feel like you're okay, or I tried to do a lot of practice with this stuff?
I'm good.
You think you're good?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, for some reason, this other link is not working. Oh, okay, now it works. Okay, so this one's pretty short. So, these are all, yeah, these are all AR verbs. So, if you want to say yo, and then the verb is caminar con mi perro cada mañana. So that means I walk with my dog every morning. So what do you think?
Is it O at the end?
Yep, yo camino. Yep. And then we have ellos estudiar todos los días. So they study every day. What do you think? They. It would be estudian, right? And then no, ayudar a servir la cena. Cena, yes. You don't help to serve dinner. So what do you think you're gonna
ES.
say? AS. Oh, wow. AS, right? Because it's an AR verb.
Yeah.
And then for nosotros with bailar cada fin de semana.
Nosotros then bailamos.
Yep. And then la mamá, and then besar a su hijo antes de dormir. So what do you think? Ooh, the mama,
La mamá Belén.
would be besa, right?
So I say, uh, what's that? I think I think it's called like just flat A or
Yep.
AN.
Yep, it's just A because it's she, right?
Yes.
And then this one is vosotros, so I did that one. And then Jose, and then cantar muy bien. So Jose,
Jose Cant. So that's like he, right?
yep,
So I can say a like. I say AN.
it would be A, right? Because it's he.
Oh yeah, just like she.
Yep, yep. And then ellas, and then caminar muy rápido. So they walk really fast. They. What do you think?
AN.
Yep. And then this one is another weird one. And then two, and then amar mucho a tu esposa. So that's saying you love,
Amas.
uh-huh.
You love your wife a lot.
Okay, yep, we got 100%. So there's that. So that is actually all of the exercises that I had for today. Took a little bit to get that last one to work, but that's fine. I did want to remind you guys that especially because we're at the end of the term here, if you need any help or anything with getting work done, things like that, there is lab today from 11:30 to 12:25. So we have that. And you can use like the same link that I send you for class. And then I'm thinking we might start a regular verbs, might. I'm considering that. Or I might start with reflexives. I don't know. I don't want to like get too much into it because we have like 4 days left, so I don't want to like go crazy here. But either way, we'll start with the important ones first, and I'm sure that whatever I decide to do will take us to the end of the term. So let me stop recording.